Welcome back, car enthusiasts. Today, we're taking a nostalgic trip back to the 1980s, a decade that defined excess, innovation, and some of the most legendary supercars ever built. The 80s were a wild time. Think big hair, neon colors, and a booming economy that fueled a supercar craze. This was the era when performance cars became status symbols, gracing the posters of countless bedrooms and stealing the spotlight in movies and TV shows. From wedge-shaped designs to turbocharged engines, the supercars of the 80s pushed boundaries and set the stage for modern hypercars. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 supercars of the 1980s that captured the imagination of gearheads worldwide. These are the machines that roared through the decade, defying limits and leaving a lasting legacy. Let's fire up the engines and dive in. First, let's set the scene. The 1980s were a time of transformation for the automotive world. The global economy was booming, and with wealth came a hunger for exotic cars that screamed power and prestige. The Group B rally era, with its insane homologation specials, pushed manufacturers to build road-legal rockets that could compete on the track and the street. Turbocharging became the tech of choice, delivering massive power from smaller engines, while lightweight materials like carbon fiber and Kevlar started showing up in production cars. Emissions regulations from a 70s malaise era were still a challenge, but automakers found ways to work around them, creating cars that were faster and more advanced than ever. Shows like Miami Vice and movies like Cannonball Run made supercars cultural icons, and if you were cruising in a Ferrari or Lamborghini, you were living the dream. Now, let's meet the first car on our list. Number 5, the Lamborghini Countach LP5000 Quattrovalvole. When you think of 80s supercars, the Countach is probably the first car that pops into your head. Its sharp, angular design by Marcello Gandini was like nothing else on the road, low, wide, and in-your-face aggressive with those iconic scissor doors. Introduced in 1974, the Countach evolved through the decade, and by 1985, the LP5000 QV was the ultimate version. Powered by a 5.2-liter V12 engine with 4 valves per cylinder, hence the Quattrovalvole name, it produced 455 horsepower in European spec, though U.S. models were detuned to around 420 due to emissions restrictions. It could hit 60 miles per hour in about 5.1 seconds and had a top speed of 182 miles per hour, though some claimed it could nudge closer to 190. The Countach wasn't just about numbers, it was a sensory overload, loud, raw, and demanding to drive, with a heavy clutch and near non-existent rear visibility. The Countach's appeal went beyond performance. Its futuristic look made it a star in pop culture, appearing in everything from Cannonball Run to countless music videos. Only 610 LP5000 QV models were built, making it a rare gem today, with prices often exceeding $600,000 at auctions. The car's flaws, like its cramped cabin and tricky handling, only added to its mystique. You had to be a skilled driver to tame this beast, and that raw, unfiltered experience is what makes it a legend. The Countach wasn't just a car, it was a statement embodying the 80s ethos of excess and ambition. It may not have been the fastest by the end of the decade, but it's arguably the most iconic supercar of the era. Number 4, the Porsche 959. If the Countach was all about flash, the Porsche 959 was about cutting-edge technology. Introduced in 1986, the 959 was originally developed for Group B rally racing, but it became a road-going masterpiece that redefined what a supercar could be. Its 2.8-liter twin-turbo flat-six engine pumped out 444 horsepower, 508 in the sport variant, and was paired with a revolutionary all-wheel drive system that could adjust torque distribution on the fly. This gave the 959 unmatched grip and versatility, whether on a racetrack or a snowy mountain pass. It hit 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 seconds and had a top speed of 197 miles per hour, making it the fastest production car in the world at the time. Some even claimed it could break 200 miles per hour in ideal conditions. The 959's tech wasn't just about speed. It featured adjustable ride height, tire pressure monitoring, and a body made of Kevlar and aluminum, keeping weight to around 3,200 pounds. Priced at $225,000 in 1986, equivalent to over $600,000 today, it was a car for the elite, and only 337 were built. The 959's influence is still felt in modern Porsches, from the 911 Turbo to the 918 Spider. It wasn't just a supercar, it was a glimpse into the future, blending rally-bred toughness with high-tech precision. For those who valued engineering over drama, the 959 was untouchable, and its rarity keeps it a collector's dream, with values now approaching $4 million. Number 3. The Ferrari Testarossa. If the Countach was the bad boy of the 80s, the Testarossa was the cool, sophisticated star. Debuting at the 1984 Paris Motor Show, its Pininfarina-designed body was a masterpiece of style, with those signature side strakes that screamed 80s excess. Its 4.9-liter flat, 12-engine produced 385 horsepower, propelling it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and on to a top speed of 180 miles per hour. While not the fastest in a straight line, the Testarossa's magic was in its balance. Its wide stance and double wishbone suspension made it a dream to handle, and that flat 12 delivered a soundtrack that could make anyone fall in love. Nearly 7,200 were built, making it one of Ferrari's most successful models at the time, with a price tag of about $181,000 in 1989. The Testarossa became a cultural icon thanks to its starring role as Sonny Crockett's ride in Miami Vice. Its sleek lines and pop-up headlights made it a poster car for a generation, and its design still looks timeless today. Unlike the raw Countach, the Testarossa offered a touch of refinement, with a luxurious interior and a smoother ride, making it a supercar you could actually live with. But don't mistake it for tame. It was still a Ferrari with a ferocious engine note and performance to match. Today, Testarossas fetch around $150,000 to $200,000, a bargain compared to other 80s icons, but their value is climbing as collectors rediscover their charm. Number 2. The Lotus Aspree Turbo SE. Lotus isn't always the first name you think of for supercars, but the Aspree Turbo SE was a giant killer in the 80s. Introduced in 1988, this updated version of the Giugiaro-designed Aspree featured a turbocharged 2.2-liter inline-4 engine that churned out 280 horsepower. Thanks to its lightweight fiberglass body, tipping the scales at just 2,800 pounds, it could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds and hit a top speed of 152 miles per hour. The Aspree's secret weapon was its handling. With a steel backbone chassis and independent suspension, it danced through corners like few others, offering a pure driving experience that rivaled cars costing twice as much. The Aspree's wedge-shaped design and pop-up headlights gave it supercar cred, and its appearance in The Spy Who Loved Me as a submarine cemented its pop culture status. The Turbo SE, with its revised bodywork and modernized interior, was the peak of the Aspree's 80s evolution. Priced at around $90,000 in 1989, it was a relative bargain, offering Ferrari-like performance for less. Only about 1,600 Turbo SE models were built, making them rare today, with values hovering around $80,000 to $120,000. The Aspree proved you didn't need a V12 to compete with the big dogs, just clever engineering and a focus on driving fun. It's a reminder that the 80s weren't just about power, they were about innovation. Number 1. The Ferrari F40. If there's one car that defines the 80s supercar era, it's the Ferrari F40. Launched in 1987 to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, it was the last car personally approved by Enzo Ferrari himself. The F40 was a no-compromise machine, built to be the ultimate road-going supercar. Its 2.9-liter twin-turbo V8 delivered 471 horsepower, propelling it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds and on to a top speed of 201 miles per hour, the first production car to break the 200 miles per hour barrier. Weighing just 2,700 pounds, thanks to its carbon fiber, Kevlar, and aluminum construction, the F40 offered go-kart-like agility with race car performance. Its raw, analog driving experience, no ABS, no power steering, demanded skill and rewarded bravery. The F40's stripped-down ethos set apart. Its Spartan interior with exposed carbon fiber and minimal comforts was all about the driver. Priced at $400,000 in 1987, it was unobtainable for most, and demand was so high that some buyers paid over $1 million due to limited production of 1,315 units. Today, F40s routinely sell for $2 million or more, with low-mileage examples fetching up to $3 million. Its timeless Pininfarina design, blistering performance, and connection to Enzo Ferrari make it a holy grail for collectors. The F40 wasn't just a car, it was a masterpiece that showed the world what a supercar could be, and it remains one of the greatest ever built. The broader impact of 80s supercars can't be overstated. They pushed the boundaries of what was possible, introducing technologies like all-wheel drive and composite materials that are now standard in modern cars. The Porsche 959's advanced systems influenced everything from the Nissan GT-R to the Bugatti Veyron. The F40's lightweight philosophy inspired hypercars like the McLaren F1. Even the Lotus Aspree's focus on handling over brute power set a template for cars like the Mazda MX-5. The 80s also saw the rise of Japanese manufacturers with cars like the Nissan MID for concept hinting at the future dominance of models like the NSX. Meanwhile, American efforts like the Vector W8 with its 625 horsepower twin-turbo V8 showed that the U.S. could compete even if only 19 were built. Let's not forget the honorable mentions. The Ferrari 288 GTO with its 400 horsepower twin-turbo V8 and 190 miles per hour top speed was a precursor to the F40 and a Group B homologation special with only 272 built. The Ford RS 200, another Group B legend, packed a 250 horsepower turbo four-cylinder and all-wheel drive, hitting 60 miles per hour in 3.0 seconds. The Aston Martin V8 Vantage Zagato, with its 430 horsepower V8 and 186 miles per hour top speed, was a rare grand tourer that sold out instantly despite its controversial looks. These cars, while not in our top 5, embody the 80s spirit of pushing limits, whether through rally-bred performance or bold design. The 80s supercar craze wasn't just about the cars, it was about what they represented. In a decade of yuppies, Wall Street wealth, and conspicuous consumption, these machines were the ultimate flex. They were loud, brash, and unapologetic, much like the era itself. Driving a Countach or F40 wasn't just about getting from A to B, it was about making a statement. Today, these cars are time capsules, taking us back to a time when analog driving ruled and every rev was a celebration of engineering and passion. Whether you're a collector, a dreamer, or just a fan, these supercars remind us why the 80s were a golden age for performance cars. So there you have it, our top 5 supercars of the 1980s. Which one's your favorite? Are you all about the Countach's wild style, or does the F40's raw purity steal your heart? Maybe you're a Porsche fan who can't resist the 959's tech wizardry. Drop a comment below and let us know. If you love this deep dive into 80s supercar history, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more automotive content. We've got plenty more coming, from classic car spotlights to modern hypercar reviews. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.